Hi, good morning students. I am Vaishakhi Shah from LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. Now our subject fluid mechanics and hydraulics. Our today's topic in chapter called flow measuring devices is orifice. Now if you remember, then in last lecture we studied venturimeter. So the venturimeter is a device which is used to measure discharge. Now today we are going to study a topic which is orifice. So orifice is also a device which is used to measure discharge of the fluid. So let's start with our topic, which is orifice. First of all, the definition of the orifice. So orifice is an opening in a container through which the liquid comes out, which is known as orifice. So basically orifice is a container, and orifice is an orifice is an opening in a container, from that liquid comes out. So as you can see in this diagram, here this is your container filled up with water. Now a opening we provided here, this. So this opening from which the water comes out, so this opening is called orifice. Okay, clear? So it is a hole or opening. It is the normal purpose of orifice is to measurement discharge, and orifice mostly provided on a vertical side, or you can also provide at bottom of the container. In some cases orifices are also provided at bottom of the container. So this opening for the outflow of the liquid is called orifice. Okay. So now first of all, there are so many types of orifices depending upon size, shape, nature of discharge, but the following are the important types of orifice which we are going to study. So first type of orifice according to size. First is type of orifice according to size. Now there are two types of orifice. First is small orifice and second is large orifice. First, definition of small orifice. If the head of the liquid from center of the orifice is more than 5 times depth of the orifice, then it is called small orifice. So now as you can see in this diagram, this is center of your orifice. Now from center to free surface, the depth is capital H, indicate as capital H, and the depth of orifice is this D. If 5 times into D, H is greater than 5 times into D, that is called small orifice. H greater than 5 times into D, that is your small orifice. And if H, this height H is less than 5 times into D, where D is depth or diameter in circular orifice, then it is called large orifice. Okay. Now the second type of orifice is according to shape. Classification according to shape of the orifice, where first is circular orifice, second is rectangular orifice, third triangular orifice, and fourth is square orifice. Now these shapes, this is your outlet, this is your orifice. Now if you provide different shapes here if you provide different shapes like circular, rectangle, square or triangle, so that is your type of orifice according to shape. You can provide any shapes at outlet of the container. Okay. Now third type of orifice is type according to age. Now there are 3 types. First is sharp edged orifice, second is square edge orifice, and third is bell mouth orifice. Now, here is the diagram for sharp edge, bell mouth and square edge orifice. Now, first is sharp edge orifice. As you can see in the diagram, in first diagram, the edges of plate, it's sharp as the base. At the base, both edges are sharp. That's why it is called sharp edge orifice. Okay. Now, second is bell mouth orifice. It is reverse of sharp edge orifice. Bell mouth orifice, as you can clearly identify the difference between sharp edged orifice and bell mouth orifice. Bell mouth orifice is a reverse. The plates are placed reverse than sharp edged orifice. So, that is your bell mouth orifice. Now, third is square edge orifice. So, in this figure, both the plates at top and bottom are square in shape. So, that orifice is called square edge orifice. Okay. Now, the fourth, that is type according to discharge. Type according to nature of discharge of the orifice. So, where first type is free discharge orifice. The definition said that if the height of the liquid on downstream side is down from the orifice, it is called free orifice. So, basically free orifice means when the water or any liquid from the container directly goes to the atmosphere, so that is called free orifice, free discharge orifice. Now, second type of orifice is fully submerged orifice. Now, fully submerged orifice, the definition is if the height of the liquid surface on downstream side is higher than orifice, then it is called fully submerged orifice. As the name indicate itself, fully submerged, fully submerged. So, if you are considering this is your upstream side and if this is your downstream side, the orifice is submerged, both sides are completely filled with water, that orifice is called fully submerged orifice. As you can see here, this is opening. There are two containers here, and we provide orifice here. If you can see, clearly identify that this orifice is submerged because both the side the water level is high than orifice. So, this is called submerged orifice. Now, third type is partially submerged orifice. Now, the definition of partially submerged orifice is if the height of the liquid surface on the downstream side is higher than base of the orifice, but orifice is not fully submerged, then it is called partially submerged orifice. So, as you can see in this figure, partially submerged orifice, there are two containers, here. Now, container number 1 and container number 2, the water level in downstream side, orifice is partially filled and partially empty. So, this is called partially submerged orifice. Clear? So, these are the types of orifice. Now, moving further to our next theory, where there are three important definitions. The first definition is called jet, or you can say water jet. So, the continuous stream of water or liquid, the continuous flow of liquid that comes out from the orifice, the continuous flow of liquid which comes out from the orifice is known as water jet or liquid jet. It is a continuous flow which comes in force. So our next definition is vena contracta. As the definition said, when the liquid passes through the orifice in the form of the jet, it loses some energy. When liquid passes through an orifice, it lost some energy, and it observed that after leaving the orifice, the jet gets contracted. So the volume of jet decreases. After coming out from the orifice, the volume of jet decreases. At one point, the contraction is maximum. At some particular point, the contraction is maximum of water jet. So that section where there is a maximum contraction of water jet occurs, that is called vena contracta. Okay. So this is diagram for vena contracta. Here the liquid is coming out from the orifice. At this point it suddenly get contracted, loses or lost all the energies. So this section where the maximum contraction occurs, this is called vena contracta. After vena contracta, again liquid expands. Okay. And our next definition is velocity of approach. So velocity of a liquid when it approaches the orifice. Now if this is your orifice and this is your moving fluid, the velocity at which fluid comes to the orifice, that velocity is called velocity of approach. Clear? So all three definitions are very important for our remaining chapters. So let us start our next topic, which is hydraulic coefficients. Now there are mainly three types of hydraulic coefficients. First of all, what is hydraulic coefficient? So the ratio of actual quantities, all the actual quantities, velocity or discharge or area, anything, to theoretical quantities. Ratio of all the actual quantities to theoretical quantities is called hydraulic coefficients. Now the following are the hydraulic coefficients, which are also called orifice coefficients, where first is coefficient of contraction, second coefficient of velocity, and third is coefficient of discharge. Three types of coefficients are that. Let us study that in detail. So where first coefficient is coefficient of contraction, which is indicate as Cc, coefficient of contraction. So it is a ratio of water jet at vena contracta to the area of water jet at vena contracta to the area of water jet at orifice. So ratio of water jet at vena contracta, so area of water jet at vena contracta to area of water at orifice, this is called coefficient of contraction, which is indicate as Cc. Now area at vena contracta, that is AC, and area of orifice is small a. So Cc equals to AC upon E. Okay. And the value of coefficient is varies by head of the liquid, size and shape of the orifice, but normally we take value of C, which is 0.64. We are considering value of Cc 0.64. Okay. So our second example is second coefficient is coefficient of velocity. The ratio of velocity at vena contracta to the ratio of velocity at orifice. It is a ratio of actual velocity to theoretical velocity. So actual velocity is velocity at vena contracta and theoretical velocity is velocity at orifice, which is indicate as Va by Vt. Va by Vt. Now Vt, that is your theoretical velocity, and as we know, the equation for theoretical velocity is under root 2gh. So your Cv, coefficient of velocity, Cv equals to Va upon root 2gh. H, and normally we are considering value of CV, which is 0.95 to 0.99. Okay, and our third coefficient is coefficient for discharge. So the coefficient for discharge, as we know that velocity by velocity, actual by theoretical. For CC, that is actual area by theoretical area. Likewise, for coefficient of discharge, it is a ratio of actual discharge to theoretical discharge, which is indicated as CD. CD, that is actual discharge upon theoretical discharge. The actual discharge is indicated as QA and theoretical discharge is QT. So CD equals to QA, Q actual by Q theoretical. Okay. Now the value of coefficient of discharge is normally 0.6 to 0.64. Clear? Now as we know, CD equals to QA upon QT. What is Q? Discharge, which is area into velocity. So you can write down QA equals to VA velocity into area at vena contracta divided by velocity into area at orifice. So VA upon VA into AC divided by VT into A. Okay. So here VA by VT into AC by A. You can also written like this, VA by VT upon AC by A. So that is VA by VT. What is VA by VT? Actual velocity by theoretical velocity. That is coefficient of velocity CV, and AC by A, actual area upon theoretical area, that is CC. So ultimately you can prove a relationship between CV, CC and CD, which is CD equals to CV into CC. This is a relationship between all three coefficients which we use to solve our examples. Okay. So done for the today. Now in next session we will discuss some example and some more theories related to this chapter. Goodbye.